Hello everyone, you're welcome to my solution to the Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics paper 4.1 written in May-June 2025. There are 22 questions in this paper. If you are seeing this channel for the first time, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. Also, like, comment and share this video. Let's jump into the first question. Question 1. Solve 4c minus 9 equals 13. Okay, so let's add 9 to both sides. So 9 cancel out 9 here. Then you have 4c left here equals to 13 add 9, that will be 22. Divide both sides by 4. So we have c left by the left. Then here you can input this into your calculator. That will give you 5 whole 1 out of 2, or you could reduce this by 2, that is turn this to 11 out of 2, then you have 5 whole 1 out of 2. Okay, so the final answer is 5 whole 1 out of 2. Question 2. Work out this expression. You can easily input the numerator into your calculator, and that gives 62.84 out of, then similarly, you need to input the denominator into your calculator, and that gives 7.8775. So if you divide the numerator by the denominator, so you should get 7.9772. So we are asked to correct our answer to two significant figures. So this will be equal to 8.0, correct to two significant figures. So the final answer is 8.0. Question 3. In the USA, 1 gallon of fuel costs $4.83. In the UK, 1 liter of fuel costs £1 62 pence. The exchange rate is £1 to $1.215. So 1 gallon is equivalent to 3.785 liters. So in which country does 1 liter of fuel cost more, and by how much? Give your answer in dollars. Okay, so what we can do here, okay, we can have the ratio of the pounds to the dollars. Okay, and the exchange rate is 1 to 1.215. Okay, so if you have 4 points, so let's try to convert this 1.62 to 1.62 pound to dollars. Okay, that's the cost price of 1 liter of fuel in the UK. So if you have 1.62 pound, okay, so what was done to 1 to get this? So it will be multiplied by 1.62. So we have to do the same thing by this side. So we multiply by 1.62. Okay, so if you do that, this will give you 1.9685. Okay, so that means and we are told that 1 gallon of fuel is equals to 3.785 liters. Okay, so now we have found the cost price of 1 liter of fuel in the UK, which is 1.62 as given, and we found 1 liter of fuel in the USA to be 1.9685 dollar. Okay, so what we need to do now is to find the cost price of 1 liter of fuel in the USA. Okay, so we can do that by dividing 4.83 by 3.785. Okay, so that means 1 liter in the USA, 1 liter in the USA, so will be equals to 4.83 3 divided by 3.785, so that will be equal to 1.2761. Okay, so now we know the cost price of 1 liter of fuel in the USA, which is this, and we know that the cost price of fuel in the UK is this. So we cannot get the difference, okay, by doing 1.9683. So don't forget this is in dollars, okay, then minus 1.2761 is also in dollars, okay. So if you subtract this, so you get 0.69, okay, 22, so which is approximately 0.69, correct, to two significant figures, okay. So that is what we can write. So it is more expensive, okay, in the UK by 0.69. So let's go down and write in the UK by 0.69. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 4. So we have this grid. So A, describe fully the single transformation that maps from figure 1, shape A onto shape B, shape A, this onto this. Okay, so let's count this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that is plus 8. Okay, then 1, 2, 3. That is minus 3. So that will be translation by the column vector 8 minus 3. So to be translation by column vector 8 negative 3. Okay, so let's go to the second one, roman figure 2. Okay, so shape A onto shape C, shape A onto shape C. So if you look at this very well, so this will be rotation. Okay, so we need to get the angle of rotation, the direction, and the center of rotation. So to do that, you can make use of your tracing paper, but if you don't have your tracing paper, so you can make use of a pair of compasses and maybe a pencil, okay, a pair of compasses and maybe protractor or any other thing you could use, okay. So I'm going to use a pair of compasses and my protractor, okay. So let's do that. Before that, I would like to label the point, okay. So that's the best way to go with this, okay. So if this is point P, for instance, this would be Q. So this would be, okay, should I name this? Okay, I think this could be R. So this could be S. This could be T, and this could be U. Okay. So if you now look at this object now, this is the image. So the corresponding part will be, this will be P prime, that's the image. Sorry, I think it's this one. So this will be P prime. So this will be Q prime. And this will be R prime here. This will be S prime. So let's scroll up a little bit. So this will be T prime. Then this will be U prime. So that is the first thing you need to do. And it's like it was rotated, okay, anti-clockwise, okay. So if you can see, if you turn this like this, it's going to look like this, okay. So that is how I got to know that this is rotation, okay. So now to get the center of rotation, okay, so we need to bisect corresponding points, okay. So okay, let's take which one is easier now. This is point. Okay, let's take S and S prime. So I need to draw a line S and S prime. Good. So I need to bisect this line. So let's do so. So now I have my ruler and a pair of compasses. Okay. So let's bisect this one here, center here. So let's open a radius that is a little bit more than half of this line. Okay, so then we draw the perpendicular bisector. I think we are good to go here. Then this one. Okay, good. So let's arc up here like this. Okay, then we need to do the same thing at the other end. I think this will be cool. Okay, so we take the same radius. Okay, and we come to this spot here. So I think I need to scroll down a little bit. So it's here like this. Okay, then we need to intersect this arc here. So there is the first one here. Okay, good. So let's intersect the second one too. So we have this. Okay, fine. So I'll need to join these two together. I think I can use this line. Okay, so let's take it from here gently. Okay, good. I think I need to adjust this a little bit. Good. Okay, fine. So I'm pretty good for this one. So let's take another one. In this case, which one will be good for us? So let's take, I think we can take P, let's take Q and Q prime. Okay, so let's do that. Q and Q prime, sorry. So let's take this. Q and Q prime. So we need to bisect this one again. So we pick up our pair of compasses again. So from this spot here, okay, so we can increase this a little bit. Okay, sorry, let's increase this. Good. Then we can now draw the intersection now. We cannot draw the arcs rather. Okay, for this one, I think it's pretty cool here. Okay, then we also draw an arc at the other side. So I think this is pretty good. So let's go to point Q again and intersect the two arcs. Okay, so the first one is here. Let's intersect it. Then the second one is here as well. So let's intersect this one here. Okay, so I have the intersections. So from here now, I can take this one. Okay, so this is the spot here. Okay, good. So I can adjust this one a little bit from here if I want. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so if you look at it now, the intersection of the two perpendicular bisectors, okay, will be here at the origin. So that is the center of rotation, that is x equals to 0, y equals to 0. Okay, now, so we need to know the direction. Of course, the direction is anti-clockwise, okay, but the next thing we need to know is the angle, okay, but to do so, you just have to make use of a ruler and a protractor, okay, to get that. So let me get my protractor now. So this is my protractor, so I need to measure the angle. Okay, so I pick up my ruler. Okay, so I want to see how to move from point P to point Q from the center of rotation. Okay, so I think I can do this like this. Okay, let's take this one like this. Let's see. Okay, good. So I'll place the ruler here, point P. Sorry. So trying to bend this a little bit. Okay, good. So from point P now. Okay, so let's take it to the center of rotation, which is here. Okay, then I can now put this one here. Okay, so you need to set this very well to get the accurate results. Okay, so this one has to go a little bit. Okay, then let's bring it closer. So if you are using your tools, okay, by hand, it's pretty easy. Okay, now this, so you can see from P now. Okay, so from here now, this is center of rotation. Okay, so if let me bring the protractor. Sorry. So actually I should draw a line, but once we place it very well, you see the angle. So I just want to see this is the center of rotation. So if you move clockwise like this, so I want to see the angle it covers from point P to P prime. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Okay, so you place the protractor here, so I can increase the protractor like this. Okay, so if you place it here like this, so let's adjust it a little bit. That's to flop on it here. Okay, so where is point P? You need to adjust this very well. So ordinarily you can draw a line from point P, okay, like this to the center. Okay, I think I should do that so you can understand. So draw a line from point P, okay, to the center of rotation. That's the origin. Okay, yeah. Then draw another line from the center of rotation to point P prime. Okay, so I want to see how point P moved, okay, to P prime. So as you can see, this is more or less a right angle triangle here. As you can see, it's obvious. So if you move clockwise, okay, like this, it is 90 degrees. You can see the angle here. Okay, so what I can do now is to just place this here to be sure. Okay, the center should be here. Center of the protractor should be on the center of rotation. Okay, and if you look at it here now, if you use the inner reading, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, you can see up to 90. So you can see this is on 90 degrees. So that's how to get the angle. Okay, good. So I think I'm pretty good now. So I can remove that. So I can say, so I know the angle is 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Okay, and you want to say 270 degrees clockwise. So they are equivalent. Okay, so this one will be rotation by 90 degrees anti-clockwise direction, anti-clockwise direction. Okay, then center 0, 0. That's the origin. Okay, so part B on the grid, draw the image of shape A after a reflection in the line x equals to -2. So x equals to -2. So the reflection of shape A, so this is shape A. So x equals to -2 will be this line here. This is x equals to, this is y equals to -2. So x equals to -2. So I need to take this. So let's remove this. X equals to -2 will be this line here. This is x equals to -2. Okay, so we can now reflect this shape A. So pretty easy. So let's start with P. So let's count from P to the mirror line. Okay, this will be 1, 2. So we have to reflect the same thing. 1, 2. Okay, so this will be P prime prime. So this same thing for this one. It will be 1, 2. So it will be 1, 2. So this will be Q. I can write it here. Q prime prime. So I can remove this one. Let me write it outside here. It will be P prime prime. Good. So for U, okay, so we have two steps, okay, between them. Okay, so we just have to count 2 steps here. 1, 2. So it will be here. This will be U prime prime. Okay, so which other one again? So for this one, we have 1 step between Q and then r. So I can just count one step like this, 1. So this will be r prime prime. So you can connect them together. So you can see that we are having this already. Okay, so I can put r prime prime here. Then the next one will be these two, to be s rather. So you see this will be in line with r prime. Okay, so you can just say 1, 2, 3. So from here it will be 1, 2, 3. So pretty easy here. Okay, so and this one is in line with u, so it will be down here. So that is how to act on time. So this will be s prime prime, and this will be t prime prime. So I can now connect them together. So this and this. Okay, then you have this as p and the q. So you have this. Okay, then you have this. Okay, then you have this. So you have this, and finally you have this. Okay, so this is the reflection. Okay, so it is pretty easy. So you can see that you should have point at this like this. So this is how to draw the reflection. So do you have any other question left? So I think this is the last question for this part. So let's go to the next question, question 5. Okay, so here, these are the first 5 terms of a sequence, 1, 8, 27, 64, and 125. Find the 10th term of this sequence. So if you look at this, this is 1 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 3, 4 to the power of 4, and so you can see that the nth term is n to the power of 3. So to get the 10th term, it should be 10 to the power of 3. Okay, part B, there are, excuse me, these are the first 5 terms of a different sequence, 5, 8, 13, 20, and 29. Find the nth term of this sequence. So we need to check the type of sequence. Is it linear or sequence or cubic or quadratic, excuse me. Okay, good. So let's find, okay, I think I can rewrite it here. We have 5, 8, 13, 20, and 29. Okay, so let's see the difference. The first difference, this will be 3. If you do this, this will be 5. The difference, 20 minus 13, that will be 7. And 29 minus 20, that will be 9. So the first difference, this is the first difference, so we don't have common difference. So let's take the second difference. So this will be 2. This will be 2. This will be 2. So this is the second difference. So at the second difference, we have common difference. So that means this is a quadratic sequence. Okay. So what you need to do, okay, is to divide. What's it called? The first thing you need to do is to multiply this common difference, okay, by n squared. Okay. Then you divide by 2. Okay, so this will give us n squared. Okay, so we need to form a new sequence with this. Okay, so I can say the initial sequence is 5, 8, 13, 20, and 29, right? So if you form a new sequence, that will be 1 squared, that will be 1, 2 squared, that will be 4. So 9, 16, and 25, like that. So now let's find the difference between the old and the new sequence. Okay, so this will be 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. Okay, since we have 4 all through, so that means this will be add 4. Okay, so the nth term will be n squared plus 4. That will be the nth term of this sequence. So, but mind you, if you have got another sequence here, if you don't have common difference here, if you were to get a new sequence, that is going to be a linear sequence, then you find the nth term of that linear sequence and you add it to n squared. That will be your final answer if you were to get a new sequence here. But if you have a constant here. So you just have a common difference rather, then you just have to add it to this one straight away. Okay, let's go to part C. So the sum of the first n terms of another sequence is n over 2 into 5n minus 1. Okay, so use n equals to 2 to find the sum of the first two terms in this sequence. Okay, so that will be, okay, sum of the first two, that will be equals to this. So we have 2 over 2 into 5 into 1 minus 1. Okay, this will cancel out. Okay, so this will be equals to 5 times 1, 5, 5 minus 1. Okay, so this will give you, sorry, there's a mistake here. This should be 2, 5 into 2 minus 1. Okay, so this will be 5 times 2, 10, 10 minus 1, 9. Okay, because n is equals to 2. Okay, so this will be 9. That is the answer here. So Roman figure 2. Find the third term of this sequence. So for you to get the third term, so you have to find the sum of the first three. So and subtract the sum of the first two from the sum of the first three. That will give you the third term. So let's get the sum of the first three. So that will be equal to 3 over 2 into 5 into 3 minus 1. So this equals 3 out of 2 into 5 times 3. That will be 15 minus 1. So this will be equal to, that's 15 minus 1. That will be 14. So it will be, okay, it will be equal to 3 over 2 into 14. So 2 here 1, 2 in 14, 7. That is 3 times 7. That is 21. So the sum of the first three terms is 21. Okay. So the third term will now be the sum of the first three minus sum of the first two. Okay. So that will be 21 minus 9. Okay. So the final answer is equals to 12. So that means the third term is equals to 12. So question 6, expand this. This will be because this equals 5x squared times 3x. That would be 15x cubed. 15x cubed. Then minus 10x squared. Okay, so we have 15x cubed minus 10x squared. Okay, so let's go to the next question. That will be question 7. Write down the inequality in y shown by the number line. Okay, so if you look at this, for this one, you have, okay, let's start with this. This is y less than 4. Okay, so for this, the second one, this is minus a half. Okay, minus 1 a half. That's this. So you can see that here. Okay, sorry. Okay, yes, I thought I used x here, so y. So the second one will be y greater than or equal to, because of this. Okay, it is shaded, so you have that kind of equality there. Okay, I can say minus 1 whole 1 over 2, so which is the same as minus 3 over. Okay, it's okay. So you can write like this, or you can just say minus 3 over 2, which is still 1 half, or you can say minus 1.5, anyone. Okay, so to combine these two now, so I can say that, so this is the same as minus 3 over 2. Okay, so I can say minus 3 over 2 or minus 1.5, anyone, is less than or equals to y, and y is less than 4. So this will be minus 3 out of 2 less than or equals to y, and y is less than 4. So question 8. Hardy buys a dishwasher you can either pay a single payment of $980 or you can pay using a monthly plan. The monthly plan is 20% of $980 plus 12 payments of $75.25. So Hardy uses the monthly plan. Calculate the total amount Hardy pays. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. So let's find this is monthly plan. Okay, so we need to find the 20% of $980. So 20% will be 20 out of 100 times $980. Okay, so if you do this, so this should give you $196. Okay, then you need to get the 12 months. So this is the first part. The second part, you need to get the 12 payments of $75.25. So that would be 12 multiplied by 75.25. Okay, so this will give you 903. Okay, so the monthly plan will now be the addition of these two. So therefore, the monthly plan will be 196 plus $903, so which is equals to $1099. Okay, so let's come here. So write $1099. Okay, so part B, find the percentage increase in the cost using the monthly plan compared to a single payment. Okay, so we want to find the percentage increase. Okay, so the increase will be the new value minus the initial value. So that will be 1099 minus 980. Okay, so that is the monthly plan and one-time payment over the actual one, which is the one-time payment 980. Okay, then multiply by 100%. So you can input this into a calculator or simplify this into 119 over 980, then multiply by 100%. Okay, and that will give you 12.1. So question 9, in a sale, the original price of sewing machine is reduced by $38. This is an 8% reduction in the original price. Work out the original price of the sewing machine. Okay, so that means at 100%, okay, you should have the original price of the sewing machine. Okay, so if there is an 8% reduction, okay, that is the reduction given. Okay, so that means it was sold at 92%. So at 92%, so you should have what? So the original price was reduced by this. That means you should have X minus $38 here. Okay, so when it is at 92%, that means the original price has been reduced by $38 as stated here. So we need to cross multiply and solve for X here. So definitely this will give us 92 multiplied by X to be equals to X minus 38. Okay, you can put it in bracket, multiply by 100. Then you cannot divide both sides by, okay, no, before that we need to expand the bracket here because of this. Okay, so good, this will be 92x to be equals to 100x minus 3800. Okay, fine. So we can now collect like times. So this will be equal to 100x minus 92x. Okay, so we need to bring this to the other side. This will be 3800. Okay, so this implies 3800 to be equal to 8x. Okay, divide both sides by 8. Okay, so x will be equals to 475. 475. So this is what you get here, 475. Okay, question 10. Write down all the factors of 8. So all the factors of 8 will be 1 by 18, 2 by 9, 3 by 6. I think that's all. Then you write like this. So you have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. Okay, so part B, you have to factorize this expression. Okay, so let's factorize this directly. So what is common here? If you do y, okay, so you take y here, so you'll be left with 3, then minus x, then you have plus 5, then into 3 minus x. So this is what you have here. Okay, so you have y times 3, that will be 3y, y times minus x, that will be minus xy. Then you have plus 5 here, plus 5 times 3, that is plus 15. Then plus 5 times minus x, that will be minus 5x. Okay, so you have this now. So you have 3 minus x into y plus 5. Okay, 3 minus x into y plus 5. So I have 3 minus x into y plus 5. So that is what you get as our final answer. Okay, then part C, 3y minus xy plus 15 minus 5x equals 18, where x and y are positive integers. So using your answers to parts A and part B, find one possible value of x and the corresponding value of y. Okay, so for this now, with the in part B, we factorize this to be 3 minus x into y plus 5 from part B. Then from part A, we got the factors of these. Okay, so we can either use, let's see, the pairs. So we have 1 and 18, we have 2 and 9, we have 3 and 6. So this is one pair, this is another pair, this is another pair. Okay, so don't forget that we want to get positive values for x and y respectively. That's positive integers. So consider if you use 1 and 18, okay, when x is 1, so if you put 1 here, 1 into 18 for instance, I just want to show you this. So that means 3 minus x will be equals to 1. So if you solve that, I just want to show you something. 3x minus 1, okay, 3x minus s rather, so equals to 1. So if you solve this now, so you get minus x to be equals to 1 minus 3. So minus x will be equals to minus 2, and x will be equals to 2. Okay, so this is what you get. Then if you use for the second one, y plus 5 equals to 18. So I can see scroll down here. So if you do the second one, that will be y plus 5 equals to 18 by comparison. So this will give you y equals to 18 minus 5. So you have y equals to 13. Okay, so that is one possible answer you could get. X equals to 2. So x equals to 2 and y equals to 13. Okay, you can use that. So you can also try another pair, 2 and 9. Okay, it will also work out for you. Okay, it will also work out for you. So only that you're going to get a different answer. So okay, when you use 2 and 9, so the value of x should be 1 and the value of y should be 4. But if you try to use the last pair, this one, then there's going to be a problem. So let me show you. So if you use, okay, I think I can do it here. Okay, let's demarcate this side. Okay, so if you use 3 minus x into y plus 5 to be equals to 3 into 6, for instance. So that means 3 minus x is equal to 3. So in this case now, we're going to have negative x to be equals to 3 minus 3. Okay, so that would be x will be equals to 0. So we need a positive integer. So similarly, if you try the other one. So y plus 5 equals to 6. Okay, so this will give you y to be equals to 6 minus 5. Okay, so y equals to 1. Okay, so x is not x equals to 0 is not a positive integer. Okay, so definitely it's going to okay, so that is why we cannot use this. We can use this or this. Okay, so let's go to the next question. That will be question 11. A warehouse has a floor area of 800 square meters. The plan of the warehouse is drawn to a scale of 1:50. Calculate the floor area on the plan. Give your answer in square centimeters. Okay. So what you need to do here is pretty easy, but you just have to consider the area of this scale. Okay, since you are dealing with area, so area scale with the square of let's say linear scale, so is giving us this 800. Okay, times 1/50 squared like this. So this is what you need to do. Okay, because it is area, so this has to be 1 squared and then 50 squared. Okay, so to do the conversion. Okay, so if you input this into a calculator, so you should get I think 0.32 squared meter. Okay, so but we have to give the answer in square centimeters. So using the acronym, I think I come here. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Okay, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. So this is where you have the meters. Okay, we have the meters here. We have the liters. This is the base, and we have the grams. Okay, so we are dealing with meters now. Okay, from meter to centimeters, it will be 1, 2. But if you are dealing with meter squared, then you have to double the steps. So instead of 2 steps, we're going to have 4 steps. So that means from this 0.32 now, so from the decimal point, let's count towards this direction. Okay, so that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So the decimal point will be here. So fill up this with zeros. So that means we have 3200. So we have 3200.0 centimeters squared, which is the same as this. Okay, so let's go to the next question. That will be question 12. So the diagram shows triangle PQR. Calculate the shortest distance from Q to R. The shortest distance from Q to PR rather. So it will be this vertical line from here. Okay, so you may want to label this point M. So by using the Sukatua, okay, you can use this one. So this will be a right angle here. Okay, so we have the opposite over the hypotenuse. Okay, so that is MQ over this. Okay, so we can say that from here, sine 42 is equals to QM or MQ over 12.5. Okay, so QM will be equals to 12.5 multiplied by sine 42. Okay, if you input this into your calculator, so you should get 8.36. Correct to 3 significant figures. Okay, so that will be the final answer here, 8.36. Then question 13, make x the subject of this formula. Okay, so to do this is pretty easy. So take away, subtract w squared. Okay, so this will cancel this. So we have this is w squared. A minus w squared equals to 5x squared. So next, divide both sides by 5. Okay, so this will eliminate this. So we are left with x squared to be equal to a minus w squared over 5. Finally, we need to take square root of both sides. Okay, so this will be plus or minus. So x will be equal to plus or minus square root of a minus w squared. So let's write that again. So a minus w squared over 5. So the final answer will be plus or minus the square root of a minus w squared over 5. So that is the final answer. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 14. Question 14. The table shows some values for y equals 5s squared minus s cubed minus 4. Part A completes the table. So you can easily input this into your calculator and get the corresponding values of y when x equals to minus 1, 1, and 4 respectively. So if you do that, you should have 2 here, and here should be 0, and finally when x equals to 4, y should be equal to 12. Okay, then let's go to part B. On the grid, draw the graph of y equals 5s squared minus s cubed minus 4 for this given range. Okay, so we're going to make use of the table. So we plot this pair of values of x and y respectively on the grid. When x equals to minus 2, y equals to 24. So and so on and so forth. So let's start with the first one. When x equals to minus 2, okay, so y equals to 24. So let's go to 24. So this is 20, 22, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this will be the point. So when x equals to minus 1, y equals to 2. Okay, so it will be 1, 2 to be here. Then when x equals to 0, then y equals to negative 4. So you have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 here. Then the next one, when x equals 1, y equals 0. So it will be here. When x equals 2, y equals 8. So it will be up here. Then when x equals 3, y equals 14. So 11, 12, 13, and 14. So when x equals 4, y equals 12. So it will be 10, 11, and 12. When x equals 5, y equals negative 4. So it will be 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. So this will be the value here. Okay, so we need to connect these together. These points, we need to connect them together. So if you have a French curve, so you can use a French curve to do this. But as for me, I'm going to use a freehand sketch to join these points together. This is what you get when you make use of your French curve. Part C, by drawing a suitable straight line on the grid, solve the equation s cubed minus 5s squared minus x plus 14 equals 0. So what we need to do is to write this given equation in part B such that we will be able to factor out this, okay? So that is what we need to do, because that will really help us in the solution there. Okay, so let me write the equation given in part B. You have y equals 5x squared minus s cubed minus 4. So that is what we are given in part B. Okay, so I want to write this equation in this form. So what do we do? So I need to transfer, okay, let's leave minus x on the left hand side and transfer this, and this to the right hand side. So I have minus x, okay, equals 5x squared minus x cubed, then minus 14. So now let's work towards this. Okay, I need to get minus 4. So that means I have to add 10, okay, to both sides. Okay, so add 10 here. So add 10 here. So this will leave you with minus x plus 10. So which you can write as 10 minus x. Okay, so equals, so 5 x squared minus x cubed, then minus 14 add 10, that will be minus 4. So I have successfully written this in form of this. So if you look at the whole of this is equal to y. Okay, so I can say minus x plus 10 equals y. Okay, which can be written as y equals minus x plus 10. So this is equation of a straight line. So the gradient will be m equals minus 1 over 1, or simply minus 1, and the intercept on y-axis, that is c, is equals 10. Okay, so that is how to get the gradient and the intercept on y-axis. So we need to draw this line on the grid where m is equals to where the gradient is minus 1 and the intercept on y-axis is 10. Okay, so where the two grid, that is the straight line and the curve, where they intersect will be the solution. Okay, so let's draw the line y equals minus x plus 10. Okay, so this is the intercept on y-axis. So there will be a point here. So from this point now, since the gradient is minus 1 over 1, that means you fall once. This is fall. You fall once, and you fall once and you run once. Okay, that is, you come down once and you move forward once. So from here, so let's count 1. So this will be 1. Then you move forward once. So this will be a point here now. Okay, so let's do this. So let's come down once again, then you move forward once. It should be here, this particular spot. So you come down once and you move forward once again. It will be here. So come down once, then you move forward once. It will be here. Come down once here and move forward once. It will be here. Okay, so I think I picked the wrong one. So come down once and move forward once. It will be here. Okay, so you can join these lines together. So you can do the same thing here to extend it here. So the opposite side will be here. Then you go up once. Okay, from here. Okay, and this one too here. Then you go up once here. Okay, so this is what you have here. Okay, so we need to connect these points together. Okay, and get the values of x. So starting from here, you draw these like this. Okay, so we need to trace the we have a point here, we have another point here, and we have another point here. So we'll trace the value down to this place now, okay? And this one is exactly here because it's on this point like this one here. Then we have one here like this. I think I can take let's say somewhere around here, okay? Then the last one is here. I can take this one here. If we trace the values of x, you see that from, let's start with this one here. So y equals to minus 1, minus 1.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. So x equals minus 1.5 for that. So this one is obvious. So x equals 2. And here, okay, I think this should be a straight line like this. Sorry. Should be around here. Okay, so close to this line. So this will be 4.5, 4.6. So it's between 4.6 and 4.7. Okay, so I can just say 4.65 or 4.7. So x equals to 4.7. Okay, so we can write our answers here. So x equals minus 1.5, x equals 2, x equals 4.7. Question 15. The height of each of 140 basketball players is recorded. The table shows the results. So we have the height and we have the frequency. Calculate an estimate of the mean height. Okay, so one thing you can quickly do here is to write the values here. You have 160 to 180. You have 180 to 185, 185 to 190, so 190 to 200. So we have 200 to 210. Then you can find the average of the lower and the upper intervals. Okay, so okay, just permit me to rule a line like this. Okay, okay, good. Then if we find the average, so this will give us 170. So this will give us 182.5. And this will give us, excuse me, 187.5. This will give us 195. And this will give us 205. Okay, so we have the frequency. So 7, 12, 31, 70, 20. So we can get the product. So I can call, so sorry for that. So I can refer to this as x, this column as x. Okay, so the next column will be the product of f and x, that is 7 times 170. So this will give us 1190. This will give us 2190. So this will give us 5812.5. So this will give us, I think, 13650. 13650, and this will give us 4100. So this will be the column for the product of the frequencies and the x values. Okay, so we need to get the sum of these. Okay, and we need to get the sum of the frequencies. Okay, so already we are told that the frequencies should be 140. Okay, so I stated up there, but you can still add all these numbers too. Okay, so the summation of these numbers here, that is fx, so this will add up to 26, then 942.5, and then the summation of the, okay, I can do summation fx equals 942.5, and the summation of the frequencies will be 140. Then an estimate of the mean will be this summation fx divided by summation f. So that will be equal to 26942.5 divided by 140. Okay, so finally this will give us 192, correct to 3 significant figures. So we have 192 correct to 3 significant figures. So let's go to part B. 2 of the players are chosen at random. Find the probability that both players have a height greater than 190 centimeters and no more than 200 centimeters. Okay, so in this case we are selecting 2 players. We are selecting 2 players at random. I want to find the probability that both players have a height greater than 190 centimeters, look at the condition, and no more than 200 centimeters. That is between these 2. So let's go to the range where we have 190 and 200. So it's here. So you are selecting from here. So the first selection and the second selection will be here. So if we select the first one, that will be 70 over 140. Multiply by the second one now. If you're selecting the second one, so it will have reduced to 69. So that will be 69 out of, and the total will have reduced to 139. So if you do this, you should get 69 out of 269 over 278. So that is what you should get. Let's write our answer here. 69 out of 278. So let's go to the next question. That will be question. I think we are still on the same question. So to complete the histogram, so we need to use the frequency density against the height. So if you go back to the previous page, so to get the frequency density, so we need to divide each of the frequencies by the class size. That is, the frequency density is equals to frequency over the class size. So that is, this one will be 7 divided by 20. This will be 12 divided by, the class interval here is 5. 12 divided by 5. Then 31 divided by 5 as well, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go back to the page. So I can calculate the frequency densities here. So I will say FD1, frequency density for the first class. So that will be 7 out of 20. So that will be approximately 0.4. So this should give us 0.35. So FD2 for the second class, it will be 12 out of 5. So 12 over 5, that will be 2.4. So the next one will be FD3, the third one. It will be 31 over 5. So that will be, I think, 6.2. Then FD4, that will be 70 divided by 10. That will be 7. Then the last one, FD5, that will be 20 divided by 10. That will be 2. So as you can see, this is the last one. It has been drawn already. So this is the last one. The frequency density is 2. So as calculated here. So now the first range will be 160 to 180. For the first one, the frequency density is 0.4 and the class size the class range is from 160 to 180. So 0.4 will be 0.2, 0.4, 2 lines here, okay, from here. So we draw it to 180 here, okay. Then you come down like this, you come down like this, okay. So that is for this first interval. So the second interval is 180 to 185, and the frequency density is 2.4. So 180 to 185 is from here to here, okay, and the frequency density is 2.4. So this will be 2.2, 2.4. Okay, so I can take it from here to like this. Okay, then close it on the top. Okay, so the next one will be 185 to 190, and the frequency density is 6.2. Okay, so I can take this up to 6.2 like this. Perfect. Then need to extend this one. Perfect. Then let's close the gap here. And the last one is 190 to 200. Okay, and the frequency density is 7. So from here, I'll just take this to 7. Okay, then take this to 7. Okay, then close the top. So this is how to complete the graph. So let's go to the next question, question 16. Matthew invests $1,250 at a rate of R% per year compound interest. At the end of 6 years, the total value of his investment is $1,484. Calculate the value of R. So this is the, okay, let's write the principal equals 1,250, then the rate equals R%, okay, which equals 0.01, okay, R like this. Then the number of times interest is paid, okay, per year is once. Then T equals 6 years, and the amount at the end of 6 years equals 1484. Okay, so using the formula, the amount equals P into 1 plus R over N to the power of N T. So if you substitute the parameters here, the values here, so we have 1484 equals 1250 into 1 plus 0.01 R over 1 to the power of 1 by 6. Okay, so let's simplify this. So this gives 1484 equals 1,250. So into 1 plus 0.01 R to the power of 6. So I can divide both sides by 1250. So if you do that, this will go. So we are left with this. So 1, okay, I think I can just do this. Okay, let's write this first. 1484 over 1250. So I want to show you the working. I don't want to skip any part of the solution. So 1 plus 0.01 R to the power of 6. Okay, so I want to find the value of R. So I need to let go of this power of 6. So I can say multiply both sides, as in the powers, by 1 over 6 here. So the power here too should multiply by 1 over 6. Okay, so this will eliminate this. So let's scroll down a little bit. So we are left with 1484 over 1250 to the power of 1 over 6, okay? So equals 1 plus 0.01 r. So instead of writing this like this, I can actually use root, okay? Okay, so this will be root, and then 6 will be here. So they are the same. So I can input this into my calculator, okay, and the whole of this equals 1.0290 equals 1 plus 0.01 r. So I can collect like times, subtract 1 from both sides. So that is minus 1 here, minus 1 here. So this will leave me with 0.020 will be equals to 0.01 r. So if I divide both sides by 0.01, so 0.01, so the value of r will be equals to 2.90. So that means the rate of the compound at which the compound interest is paid per year is 2.90. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 17. Okay, the diagram shows a collateral A, B, C, D. So calculate the line segment AD. Okay, the line segment AD. So using cosine rule. Okay, if this is angle B, so this will be side B. If this is angle A, so this will be side A. If this is angle D, so this will be side D. Okay, so I'll use the cosine rule. So that will be b squared. Okay, so b squared equals to, we have a and d now, so a squared plus d squared minus 2 into a into d, then cos this angle of this side cos b. Okay, so it's pretty easy to recall the cosine rule using this format. Okay, so I can key in the values now. So it will be b squared will be equals to, the value of a equals 12.1, so 12.1 squared plus d, that is 9.6 squared, minus 2 into 12.1 into 9.6, then cos angle B is 56, cos 56 degrees. Okay, so you can input this into your calculator straight away, okay, and you will get the answer. So if you input the whole of this into your calculator at once, so you have to save time. So you see that b squared is equals to 108.6583. So you can actually take square root of both sides. So b will be equals to 10.4 centimeters. Okay, so that will be the value of b, which is AD, 10.4 centimeters. So part B, calculate the obtuse angle BDC. Okay, so the obtuse angle, it is the angle that is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So we can use sine rule. Okay, so let's go back to this place. So we can say, since we want to find this angle, so we can use sine rule. This is the side and its corresponding angle. So similarly, we have this and its corresponding angle. Okay, so we can find this angle here. So I'll say this 15.8 over sine BDC equals to 12.1 over sine 47. So then we'll simplify that. Okay, so 15.8 over sine BDC then equals 12.1 over sine 47. Okay, so if you cross multiply, okay, and divide both sides by 12.1. So it implies sine BDC equals 15.8 by sine 47, everything over 12.1. So if you do this, sine BDC equals, if you input this into your calculator, the whole of this, input this into your calculator, so you should get 0.9550. Then you can now get the, if you take sine inverse of both sides, okay, so okay, I think if you take sine inverse of both sides, okay, so this will be BD, so you have BDC to be equals to sine inverse of 0.9550, so which is equals to, I think this, if you input this into a calculator, you should get 72.7. Okay, so 72.7 is not the final answer, because we have to find the obtuse angle, okay, of BDC. Okay, so what we need to do now is to subtract this 72.7 from 180 degrees. So that will be 180 degrees minus 72.7. Okay, so that will leave us with 107.3. So 107.3. So that's the final answer, 107.3. So let's go to part C. Calculate the area of the quadrilateral. Okay, so to calculate the area of the quadrilateral, so we need to calculate the area of this triangle and the area of this triangle. So the addition of the area of the two triangles will be the area of the quadrilateral. Okay, so to calculate the area of triangle ABD, so we can actually use this half times that's 1/2 times this side and this side times the sine of angle of 56. Okay, I want to believe you know that formula. So this is the unknown side and this is the corresponding angle. So it will be half times the product of the known sides, which is 9.6 times 12.1, then multiply by the sine of angle of the unknown side. So the unknown side is this and the angle is 56. Okay, so that's what we're going to do to get the area of this triangle. Okay, so I'm still going to scroll down a little bit. Okay, then for this triangle CBD, okay, to calculate the area, so it's pretty easy as well. Similarly, we need to we have two known sides, this side and this side are known. So this is the unknown side, that is the CD. So we need to find the angle of the unknown side, so that so as to use the same formula. So this angle here is 107.3. So to get this, we have to do 180 minus 107.3 minus 47. So that will leave us with 25.7. Okay, so this is the sine of angle we're going to use. So we're going to do 12.1 times 15.8 times sine 25.7 divided by 2. So that will give us the area of triangle BCD. Okay, so let's go down. This is what we're going to do. So let's go down and implement that. So the area of triangle ABD will be 9.6 multiplied by 12.1 multiplied by sine 56, everything divided by 2, then plus the area of triangle CBD. So it will be equal to 15.8, excuse me, 15.8 multiplied by 12.1 multiplied by sine 25.7 divided by 2. So this is how to get the area of the quadrilateral. So if you do this, you should get 48.150, 48.1505, and this should give you 41.4535. So if you have the two together, if you add the two together, you should get 89.6 squared centimeters. So let's go to the next question. That will be question 18. Okay, here you have the expression. Okay, this expression can be written in the form this in vertex form. So find the values of A, B, and C. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna say 2x squared plus 12x minus 2. Okay, so let's factor out 2. So it will be x squared plus 6x minus 1. Okay, so 2 into, then we can now go with this. Let's half this. So half of this is 3. So that will leave us with x plus 3 all squared. Okay, so if you square this, it's going to give us x squared plus 6x then plus 9. So, and we don't have plus 9 here, so we need to subtract 9 here so that it will be equal to this directly. The whole of this like this, okay? Then we can now have minus 1. So let's put it in bracket like this. Okay, so what we can do now, we have 2 into x plus 3 all squared, then minus 10. Okay, so if you expand the bracket now, so this will be 2 into x plus 3 squared. 2 times negative 10 will be minus 20. Okay, so if you compare it with this now, so let me write it here. You have 2 into x plus 3 all squared minus 20. So you see that A equals 2, B equals 3, and C equals 20. Okay, because here you have minus 20 equals minus C, so C will be equals to positive 20. Okay, so I think we are good to go. So you can scroll down and write the values there. A equals 2, B equals 3, and C equals 20. So question 19. The diagram shows a major sector of a circle with radius 7.5 centimeters. Calculate the perimeter of the major sector. So to calculate the perimeter of the major sector, we need this angle. So this angle will be 360 minus 126. So that will be 234 degrees. Okay. So the perimeter of the major sector will be the addition of this radius, and the length of an arc. Okay, so that will be the formula. So we can say that the perimeter denoted by P equals to 2 radii. That will be 2 into 7.5. Okay, plus the length of an arc. So the length of an arc is this angle 234 divided by 316, then multiplied by 2 pi r, that is 2 multiplied by pi 3.142 multiplied by the radius 7.5. So we have to simplify this. So P will be equals to, so this will be 15 plus, so the whole of this, if you input this into a calculator, you should get 30.6345, 30.6345, and if you add the two together, you should get 45.6 centimeters, correct to 3 significant figures. So I'll scroll down Let's put the final answer here, 45.6 centimeters. Let's go to the next question. That will be question 20. The diagram shows a pyramid OABCD. The pyramid has a square base ABCD with sides 10.5 centimeters. The vertex O is vertically above the center of the base M. The height of the pyramid is 24 centimeters. Calculate the angle that OA makes with the base. Okay, so with the base is ABCD. So we want to calculate the angle OA. So let's scroll up a little bit. So OA makes with the base. So if I draw a line to OA now, okay, we have a line like this. So we need this angle here. Okay, this is the angle we need here. So let's mark the angle. So this is the angle we want to calculate. Okay, so our answer lies in the triangle OAM. Okay, so what I can do is to get the value of this line segment AM. Okay, then I can, okay, this is what I'm saying. I can just give you the rough sketch here. You have something like this, and finally like this. Okay, so we can, this is A, this is O, and this is M. Okay, so this is the angle we want to find. So we already know that this is 24. So I need to get AM. When I get AM, then I can use the SOHCAHTOA to get this angle. Let's say theta. Okay. Now from triangle from the quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, or let's say from the triangle ABC. Okay. So I can make use of what? I can make use of Pythagoras theorem, okay, to find AC. Okay, so let's scroll down here. So using AC squared equals to AB squared plus BC squared. Okay, so we know that the value of AB is 10.5 and BC equals 10.5 as well, because they are equal. Okay, so AC squared equals an AB squared plus BC squared. So I can take the square root straight away. So if you take the square root of both sides, so AC will be equals to this, and this will be, and this equals 10.5 plus 10.5. So if you input this into your calculator, so the value of AC equals 14.8492. So AM equals half of AC. From the diagram, you can see here, it is half of it. Then, if we divide, that implies 14.8492 divided by 2. So the value of AM equals 7.4245. So now that I have the value of AM, so as I told you earlier, so this is 7.4245. So I have opposite against adjacent. That is tangent theta. So I don't know. Can I continue from here, or I should scroll down? Okay, let me just leave a demarcation here. So I can say that tan theta equals 24 over 7.4245. Okay. So if you divide this by this, so tan theta should be 3.2325. Okay, so 3.2325. Now take inverse of both sides. So theta equals tan inverse of 3.2325, and finally theta equals 72.8. 72.8. So that will be the value of theta. So 72.8. So let's go to the next question, which is part B. The diagram shows a frustum of the pyramid OABCD. The height of the frustum is 16 centimeters. Calculate the volume of the frustum. Okay, so this part B has a connection with part A. So remember that we are given the height of the whole diagram here, that is 24 centimeters. Okay, so that will go a long way to solve this question. So what we need to do here is just to make use of the knowledge of what of similar shapes. Okay, so we need to calculate the side and the height of the smaller pyramid. So that is what we need to do now. Okay, so by the time you compare it with the major one, okay, so you see that the base of the pyramid, that is the length, okay, or the sides of the base will be x. So this will be x, this will be x, this will be x, this will be x, because it is also a square base. Okay, now for the so for the height now, so if from here the whole height is 24 centimeters, okay, and the height of the first room is 16 centimeters, so that means we can easily do 24 minus 16. So that will be height of the smaller pyramid, that is yes, from here to here thereabout, it will be 8 centimeters. Now, haven't got this, so we can now make use of the concept of similar shapes, okay, by taking the ratio of corresponding sides. Okay, so we can now use that to get the what we want. Okay, so starting with the base of the smaller pyramid, which is x. Okay, so I can say x. Okay, that's one side of the smaller pyramid over one side of the bigger pyramid, which is 10.5, then equals the height of the smaller pyramid, which is 8, okay, over the height of the bigger pyramid, which is 24. So this allows us to get the value of x, and once we get that, boom, we are pretty good to go with the volume of the frustum. Okay, so let's cross multiply and simplify this. So if you cross multiply and solve for x, so the value of x equals 10.5 multiplied by 8 divided by 24. So the value of x equals 3.5. Now that we know the value of x, okay, so each side of the base of the smaller prism is 3.5 centimeters. So we can now calculate the volume of the frustum. Okay, so the volume of the frustum gonna be the volume of the larger pyramid minus the volume of the smaller pyramid. Okay, so the volume of any prism is always the base area multiplied by the height. That is the volume of any 1/3 rather, the base area multiplied by height, then multiplied by 1/3. That is 1/3 of the base area, 1/3 of the 1/3 of the product of the base area and the height. That is, the volume of any prism is giving us 1/3 multiplied by the base area, okay, multiplied by the height. So this is what you use to get the volume of a prism. Okay, so in this case now, since we need the volume of the frustum, so we will do the volume of the bigger pyramid minus the volume of the smaller pyramid. That will leave you with the volume of the frustum. Okay, so now the volume of the frustum, V, okay, will be equals to 1/3, okay, multiplied by the volume of the bigger prism will be the base area times height. That will be 10.5 squared multiplied by the height, which is 24, minus 1/3. Okay, the volume, the base area of the smaller pyramid, that is 3.5 squared. Okay, then multiply by the height, which is 8. Okay, so if you do this, the volume should be 882 minus 98/3, and this will give you a recurring decimal. Okay, one repeated digit. So this will be 849.3. Then you can put a dot on the repeated digit, or you can write it as 849.3. Then you put a bar on the repeated digits, or you can also write it as 849.3. Then you put a sign of ellipsis. So this tells you that 3 goes on forever and ever. Okay, so you can use any of these 3 ways to write your answer, or to denote repeated digits. So for me, I like the first one, so I will pick 849.3. then I put a dot on this 3. This shows that 3 is a repeated digit. So let's go to the next question. Okay, that will be question 21. 16 to the power of 5m divided by 4 equals 64 to the power of 2n. Find m in times of n. So the first thing you need to do here is to write these. Let the numbers have the same base. So since I have 4, 16, and 64, so I can leave them in base 2. So 16 in base 2, it will be 2 to the power of 4. That is my 16. Then I have power of 5m. Then divided by 4 to the power to the base 2, it will be 2 to the power of 2. Okay, then equals 2. 64 to the power of to the base of 2, it will be 2 to the power of 6. Then I have this power 2n. Okay, I can use the division of indices to combine these two together. This is gonna be okay, but before then, let me clean up this. Okay, I can multiply the powers here. So it implies 2 to the power of 4 times 5m, that will be 20m, then over 2 to the power of 2, then equals to, similarly, I can multiply out the powers here, 6 by 2n, that will be 2 to the power of 12n. Okay, so now I can easily use division of indices by selecting one of the bases, then subtract the powers, 20m minus 2, then equals 2 to the power of 12m. Since they have the same base, okay, so I can cancel out the base. So I have 20m minus 2 equals 12n. Okay, so I want to write m in terms of n. That means I have to make m the subject of the formula. Okay, so what do? So I need to take this to the other side. Okay, and you may want to reduce this by 2 because 2 is actually common to all the numbers here, so you are pretty good. Okay, that is, you can say 10 divide through by 2 first. You may want to do that, no troubles, and you can do that at the end of your solution. But I think it's better to reduce it now. So 2 goes in 20m, that will be 10m. Then 2 goes in 2 once, 2 goes in 12m, that will be 6m. So you are pretty good now. So I want to write m in terms of n, so I have to make m the Sawyer formula. So I can add 1 to both sides. This will delete this. So I'm left with 10m equals 6n plus 1. Finally, I can divide both sides by 10. Okay, so m equals 6n plus 1, everything over 10. So this is what I have here. So question 22, which is the last one. So I equals V over R. So this has to do with, so as a science student, this is current, voltage, and then resistance. Okay, so V is 50, correct to nearest 10. Then R is 13, correct to the nearest integer. Calculate the upper bound of I. Okay, so before we start the solution here, okay, you need to know this. when you want to write a formula for either lower bound or upper bound of a division, so you have to take note of something. Okay, so the upper bound of I, okay, let me just write here, upper bound of I equals the upper bound of B, the upper bound of V, okay, divided by lower bound of R. Okay, so this is what you need to take note. So anytime you have a division or a subtraction, it always be like this. Okay, for addition and subtraction, for addition and multiplication, okay, so it's quite straightforward. So the upper bound of a product will be the upper bound of each of the terms there. Okay, it's easy. But when you have a division or you have a subtraction, okay, so you need to take note of it. Okay, it doesn't go the same all through. Okay, and if you look at it in another way, you want to get the upper bound of this. Okay, so you have to divide by a smaller number so that you are going to, so as to maximize this. So kind of something like that though. Okay, now so we need the upper bound of V. So V is correct to nearest 10. So that means you need to count in tens. So this is 50. So the next one will be 60 if you count in tens. Okay, so the average of these two numbers is our upper bound. Okay, so that means I can say the upper bound is equals to 50 plus 60 divided by 2. 50 plus 60 divided by 2, that is that should give us 55. Although you can easily get it from here. The average of 50 and 60, or the midpoint, okay, is 55. That's the middle. Okay, but in case you have numbers you cannot easily get the midpoint, so you can always add them together and divide by 2. So but for this one it's pretty straightforward. So it's gonna be 55. That is the average of these two numbers, the midpoint of these two numbers, and it is the upper bound. So I don't need to get the lower bound. Okay, otherwise it will have been the average of these two. Okay, but I don't need it. I only need the upper bound. Okay, then R is 13 centimeters. Okay, sorry, R is 13, correct to the nearest integer. So integer means we count in ones. Okay, so we need the lower bound of R. Okay, so that means if you have 13 here, so a step backward will be 12. Okay, so the lower bound will be the mid of these two numbers. So of course it is 12.5. So alternatively you can add the two numbers together and divide by 2. You still get 12.5. So that means the lower bound of R is 12.5. This is pretty easy. This is one of the topics I like most in IGCSE. I like the bound of a thing. Okay, so if you divide this by this, so you will get 4.4. So that is what you get. 55 divided by 12.5, you get 4.4. So guys, this is the end of my solution to the Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics written in June 2025. This is component 4.1. So in the next video I will solve the component 4.3. So if you are seeing this channel for the first time, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also like, comment and share this video. Until then, have your fingers crossed.